will there be a Mafia 4? Yeah, yeah, sure. I think there will be a Mafia 4. Now, the reason why I'm so confident in that is because Mafia 3 sold pretty well, and the numbers, they don't lie. You know what I mean? So I think the story went that Hangar 13 was approached to do Mafia 4, but they said, hey, we're working on our own thing right now. So they passed on Mafia 4, which is unfortunate, but that kind of is where we're at today. The Mafia franchise is in limbo. But I do think there is light at the end of the tunnel. Again, Mafia 3 sold decently, enough to definitely warrant a sequel. There's no reason not to do a Mafia 4. And I think ultimately, Mafia 3, despite its shortcomings, I think a lot of people came away from Mafia 3 and said, hey, you know what? I was entertained. Despite kind of the problems that it was infested with, especially at launch, technical problems. But not just that, kind of the repetitive mission structure. But it also had a lot of redeeming qualities to it as well. You look at Mafia 3 as a whole and you pull back and you say, you know what? Great story. Top-notch performances, killer soundtrack, combat was addicting, driving was rad. Just a lot of things going for Mafia 3. And again, I think ultimately people come away and say, you know what, it was a lot of fun. Especially at the price that it's at today, like what, $10, if that. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's definitely going to be a Mafia 4. I think just people kind of need to figure out what to do with it, who's going to develop it. We know Hangar 13 was recently hit with, well, I don't know about recently, but maybe about a year or so ago, hit with some layoffs. Now, if you go to their website, they're hiring, like 50 jobs are available. So I don't know if that's telling of anything, but yeah, if Hangar 13 does get the opportunity, or if they somehow change their mind, or maybe they already are secretly working on Mafia 4, I think it would be neat to see them get that second chance. You know what I mean? I don't know if the original team is still at Hangar 13 because of the layoffs, but Hangar 13 getting a second shot at the Mafia franchise, I think they could potentially, if they played their cards right, they could hit that home run, So it's been about how many years since, from Mafia 2 to Mafia 3, about a 6-year gap. And from Mafia 3 to now, as of this recording, it's been about 3 years. So, hey, who knows? Maybe in 3 years we'll see the return of the Mafia franchise. And, when I think about it, I sit there and I say, well, I'm glad we're kind of in this limbo state, because if they were to rush out another Mafia game, it just might not necessarily, tick. And who wants to see another Mafia game on current hardware? I mean, it'd be cool, sure, but I would rather wait, have them kind of figure it out in a way that makes sense. And not only that, but they can utilize the next generation hardware. So if we have to presumably wait about 3 or so years for the next Mafia game, well, it's going to come back and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. So fingers crossed for Mafia 4, but I definitely think something is in the works, folks.